Once upon a time, deep within a vast and colorful forest, there lived a young monkey named Milo. Milo wasn't the biggest monkey in the jungle, nor the strongest. His tail was short, his arms were thin, and many of the other monkeys often teased him for being too curious and too brave for his own good. But what Milo lacked in size, he made up for in heart. Milo lived with his troop in the Golden Jungle, a place filled with towering trees, sparkling rivers, and animals of every kind. The jungle was alive with laughter, music, and the gentle rhythm of nature. But one day, something strange began to happen. The trees started to lose their leaves. The rivers grew quieter. The birds stopped singing. The jungle is fading. The old elephant Ranu warned one morning. Something precious has been lost. The animals gathered in fear. No one knew what had happened, but everyone could feel it. The jungle was slowly disappearing. That night, Milo sat alone on a high branch, staring at the dark sky. "I won't let our home disappear," he whispered. "I may be small, but I will try." Before dawn, Milo set off on a journey into the forbidden paths, a part of the jungle no animal dared to enter. Legends said the paths led to the lost jungle, a hidden land that held the heart of nature itself. As Milo swung through unfamiliar trees, the air grew colder. The vines were brittle, and the ground below was cracked and dry. Suddenly, a loud hiss echoed through the shadows. A giant snake slithered out, its eyes glowing yellow. "Turn back, little monkey," it hissed. "This path is not for the weak." Milo's heart raced, but he stood tall. "I'm not here for myself," he said bravely. "I'm here to save my jungle." The snake studied him for a moment, then slowly moved aside. "Then go," it said. "But courage alone will not save you." Milo continued, crossing broken bridges made of old vines and leaping over deep ravines. His hands hurt and his legs trembled, but he never stopped. Soon, he reached a land unlike any he had seen before. Trees stood frozen like stone, rivers were dry, and the sky looked gray and lifeless. "This must be the lost jungle," Milo whispered. In the center of the land stood a glowing stone surrounded by darkness. As Milo approached, a shadowy figure emerged, the spirit of forgetfulness, a being that fed on fear and neglect. "Why have you come?" the spirit asked coldly. "The animals have forgotten the jungle's value. Nature fades when it is ignored." Milo clenched his fists. "We haven't forgotten. We just didn't know we were losing you," the spirit laughed. "Then prove it." Suddenly, visions filled Milo's mind, trees being cut, rivers polluted, animals leaving their homes. Milo felt tears in his eyes, but he didn't turn away. "We can change," Milo said firmly. "If you give us another chance, I will remind everyone how important the jungle is." The spirit looked into Milo's eyes and saw something rare, true love for the jungle. "You are small," the spirit said softly, "but your heart is strong." The glowing stone began to shine brighter. Milo reached out and touched it. Feeling warmth spread through his body, the lost jungle began to awaken. Trees regained their leaves, rivers flowed again, and birds returned to the sky. "The heart of the jungle is hope," the spirit said as it faded away. "Protect it." Milo hurried back, moving faster than ever. When he returned to the Golden Jungle, the animals gasped in wonder. Green leaves returned, flowers bloomed, and the air filled with life. Milo climbed onto a rock and spoke. "The jungle lives because we care for it. We must protect it every day." The animals cheered. Even those who once teased Milo bowed their heads in respect. From that day on, Milo was no longer just a small monkey. He was known as the brave monkey who saved the jungle. And the Golden Jungle was never lost again. We hope you enjoyed Milo's adventure. Remember, even the smallest person can make a big difference. The Golden Jungle had returned to life. Trees were greener than ever. Rivers sparkled under the sun. And birds filled the air with joyful songs. At the center of it all sat Milo, the brave little monkey who had saved the jungle. The animals admired him now, but Milo did not feel like a hero. Instead, he felt uneasy. At night, when the jungle fell quiet, Milo often heard a strange sound like a low whisper carried by the wind. The trees near the edge of the forest trembled, and shadows moved where no animals stood. Something was wrong again. One evening, the old elephant Ranu approached Milo. Brave one, Ranu said softly, the jungle is alive, but its balance is fragile. I sense a darkness beyond the trees, something the spirit of forgetfulness did not take with it. Milo's tail curled nervously. What kind of darkness? Ranu lowered his voice. The shadow jungle, a place where fear grows when courage is forgotten. That night, the whispers grew louder. The moonlight dimmed, and the leaves near the jungle's border slowly turned gray. A young deer ran into the clearing, shaking with fear. The shadows took my brother. The deer cried. They pulled him into the dark forest. Milo's heart sank. The jungle had been saved. But not completely. I'll go, Milo said firmly. The animals gasped. Again, a parrot squawked. You've done enough. But Milo shook his head. If we stop caring, the jungle will fade again. I started this journey. I must finish it before sunrise. Milo set off toward the edge of the jungle, where light struggled to exist. As he crossed the boundary, the air grew cold. The trees were twisted, their branches sharp like claws. This was no ordinary forest. This was the shadow jungle. Every step felt heavier. Strange voices echoed around Milo, whispering his fears. You are too small. You were lucky before. You will fail this time. Milo stopped and took a deep breath. I hear you, he said aloud. But I won't listen. Suddenly, glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. A creature stepped forward tall, smoky, with a face that shifted like mist. It was the Shadow Keeper, guardian of the Shadow Jungle. Why do you return? Little hero, the Shadow Keeper hissed. Did saving one jungle not satisfy you? Milo stood his ground. You took an innocent animal. This jungle does not belong to fear. The Shadow Keeper laughed. Fear is what makes me strong. Every doubt, every moment of neglect feeds this place. You cannot defeat me with bravery alone. With a wave of its hand, the shadows moved. Milo suddenly saw visions himself failing, the jungle fading again. The animals turning away from him. His knees trembled. What if they're right? Milo thought. What if I really was just lucky? Then he remembered the golden jungle, the laughter, the trees coming back to life, the animals standing together. He remembered why he started. I may be small, Milo said, his voice shaking but strong, but I choose hope. A warm glow spread from Milo's chest, the same glow he had felt in the lost jungle. The shadows hissed and pulled back. The Shadow Keeper stepped away, surprised. Impossible! Milo moved forward, deeper into the shadow jungle. At the center, he found a cage made of darkness. Inside, the young deer's brother lay trapped, weak but alive. As Milo reached for the cage, the ground cracked. Shadow vines wrapped around him, pulling him back. You cannot save everyone, the Shadow Keeper roared. Milo struggled, his arms aching. Maybe not, he gasped, but I won't stop trying. With one final burst of strength, Milo grabbed a nearby glowing seed half buried in the ground. He crushed it in his hand. Light exploded outward. The shadow jungle screamed as darkness dissolved. Trees straightened, leaves returned, and color slowly spread through the land. The cage vanished. Freeing the trapped deer, the Shadow Keeper shrank. Fading into mist, fear will return, it whispered. But so will you. Milo helped the deer stand. Together, they ran back toward the golden jungle as the shadow jungle transformed into a peaceful forest. Once more, when Milo returned, the animals gathered around him. Cheering with relief, the deer reunited with his brother. Tears of joy in their eyes, Ranu smiled gently. You have done more than save the jungle, Milo. You have taught us that courage must be protected every day. Milo looked around at his friends. I can't do this alone, he said. The jungle survives when we all care for it. From that day on, the animals worked together, cleaning rivers, protecting trees, and helping one another. And whenever a shadow tried to grow, courage was there to stop it. High in the trees, Milo watched the sunrise, peaceful at last. He was still small. He was still curious. But now, he was something more. He was the heart of the jungle. The golden jungle stood bright and alive once again. Sunlight filtered through thick green leaves. Rivers sang softly as they flowed, and animals moved freely without fear. Milo. The brave little monkey sat quietly on his favorite branch, watching the jungle he had fought so hard to protect. Yet deep inside, Milo felt something stirring. The jungle was peaceful but not complete. One early morning, when the mist still hugged the ground, the oldest tortoise in the jungle, Grandfather Koro, slowly approached Milo. His shell was cracked with age, his eyes wise and gentle. "Brave one," Koro said, "you have saved the jungle from forgetting and from fear. But there is one F. It'll trial," Milo swallowed. "Another danger," Koro nodded. "Not from outside. This time, the danger come from within the jungle itself." Before Milo could ask more, the ground trembled softly. Trees in the far distance began to fade not into darkness, but into nothingness, as if they were being erased. Animals gasped as parts of the jungle slowly disappeared, leaving empty silence behind. "What is happening?" Milo whispered. Koro closed his eyes. "The heart tree is dying." The heart tree was older than any animal, older than memory itself. It was said to be the source of balance, holding together courage, care, and unity. Without it, no amount of bravery could save the jungle. Milo felt his chest tighten. "Where is it?" "Beyond the golden jungle," Koro said. "In a place where no animal can survive for long." The white silence. Many animals shook their heads. "That place drains hope," a tiger warned. "Even the bravest lose their strength there." Milo looked at the fading jungle. He remembered his first journey, his fear, his doubt, and how hope had carried him forward. "I'll go," he said softly. This time, Milo did not go alone. The deer, the parrot, the young elephant, and even the snake from the forbidden path stepped forward. "Your courage taught us something," they said. "Now we will walk with you together." They entered the white silence. The land was pale and quiet. No wind, no sound. Each step felt heavier than the last. Colors faded from their fur and feathers. One by one, the animals slowed. "I can't go on," the parrot whispered, falling back. "Neither can I," the deer said, trembling. Milo felt his own strength slipping away. The white silence fed on exhaustion, not fear. "Wait," Milo said. He placed his hand on the ground and closed his eyes. "We don't need strength alone. We need each other." He helped the smallest animal onto his back. Others supported one another. Slowly, step by step, they moved forward not as heroes, but as friends. At the center of the white silence stood the heart tree, cracked, pale, and barely alive. Milo approached it, tears forming in his eyes. "You gave us everything," he whispered. "Now let us give something back." But the heart tree did not respond. Grandfather Koro's voice echoed in Milo's mind. "Balance is not restored by power, but by sacrifice." Milo understood. He placed his hand on the tree and felt his warmth leaving him, flowing into its roots. Memories, laughter, courage, everything he was began to fade. "Milo," the animals cried. "It's okay." Milo smiled weakly. "The jungle is worth it." The heart tree glowed faintly, then brighter. Cracks healed, leaves bloomed, color rushed back into the land. The white silence shattered. Light exploded across the jungle as the heart tree awakened fully. Trees returned, rivers flowed stronger than ever, and animals felt hope surge through them. Milo collapsed. The animals rushed to him, crying, "You can't leave us." A soft, warm glow surrounded Milo. A gentle voice spoke, not loud, but loving. "Bravery does not disappear," the jungle whispered. "It transforms." Milo opened his eyes. He was still a monkey, small, curious, and kind, but now his heart glowed gently. Connected to every tree, every river, every living thing, "You will not be forgotten," the jungle said. "You will live in every act of care." Back in the golden jungle, animals gathered beneath the heart tree. Milo stood among them, smiling. From that day on, the jungle never faded again. Children were taught Milo's story. Animals protected the forest together. And whenever fear or neglect tried to return, the jungle remembered. High in the branches, Milo watched the sunrise. He was no longer just the brave monkey. He was the heart that never fades. And the lesson for us all? True courage is love, sacrifice, and caring for others together. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. For many seasons, the golden jungle lived in peace. The heart tree stood tall, its light a soft, comforting glow in the night. Every animal, from the smallest beetle to the largest elephant, protected the forest like a cherished family. And Milo, the brave monkey, was their guardian. He no longer needed to be a warrior. He was a guide, watching over the jungle he loved. But peace can make us complacent. Even the strongest hearts can weaken. And the deepest lessons can be forgotten. It started so quietly you could barely notice. Animals began arguing over the sweetest fruit trees. Some stopped cleaning the rivers, letting fallen leaves clog the sparkling water. Others simply ignored the old rules of balance. That kept their home alive. The jungle is safe now, they would say to each other. Milo saved it. We can relax. Milo felt the change like a cold shiver. He saw the heart tree's glow flicker like a candle in the wind. The vibrant energy of the jungle was fading, replaced by a lazy indifference. One night, he stood beneath the great tree and placed his hand on its ancient bark. The familiar warmth he always felt was faint, almost gone. You feel it too. A cold voice whispered from the shadows. Milo spun around. From behind the tree stepped a strange, shimmering figure. Part shadow, part light. Its eyes swirled like broken mirrors, reflecting a distorted image of the jungle. Who are you? Milo asked, his voice steady despite the fear prickling his fur. I am the echo of forgetting, the figure replied, its voice a hollow rustle of leaves. I am born when gratitude fades. Milo's chest tightened, the jungle already defeated forgetting. We remember. The darkness, the echo smiled, a sad, knowing expression. You defeated the forgetting of danger. But this is different. This is the forgetting of responsibility. As it spoke, the ground trembled, cracks spread through the earth, and patches of the vibrant jungle turned dull and gray. It wasn't dark or broken like before. It was just empty, lifeless. Panic erupted. The animals scrambled. Their casual confidence shattered. Milo, they cried out. Their voices filled with terror. Save us again. Fix this. Milo looked at their faces. He saw fear, but he also saw expectation. They were waiting for him, their hero, to solve the problem for them. And in that moment, he understood. That was the problem. I cannot save the jungle alone, Milo said. His voice quiet but firm, the echo of forgetting raised a translucent hand. Then watch it fade. The heart tree pulsed once, a desperate, final beat, and then went silent. Its light died completely. At the same instant, Milo felt his own connection to the jungle weaken. The warm glow inside his chest, the very source of his strength, dimmed to a faint flicker. If the heart tree dies, Milo whispered, his breath catching in his throat, so do I. The echo nodded slowly. Only one thing can restore it. It is not bravery. It is not sacrifice. What then? Milo pleaded. Choice, the echo replied, its voice echoing through the silent woods. The jungle must choose to save itself. Milo didn't hesitate. He ran through the fading jungle, his voice ringing out. Listen to me, everyone. I can't do this alone. The jungle only lives if we all care for it. But his words fell on deaf ears. Many animals turned away. Their faces a mixture of disappointment and denial. You are the hero, a grumpy bear grumbled. You'll find a way. You always do. Milo felt something inside him break. It wasn't the jungle this time, it was his hope. As the world around him faded further, rivers dried to dusty tracks. Leaves fell from barren branches, and a profound silence crept back into the forest. He climbed to the highest branch of a dying tree and cried out, not in fear, but in raw, honest truth. I am tired. He called to the empty sky. I am small. I was never meant to carry this all by myself. The echo of forgetting appeared beside him, its form almost transparent now. Then let go. Milo closed his eyes. He thought of the burden, the expectation, the weight of being the sole savior. And for the first time, he let it all go. He stepped back. The next morning, something unexpected happened. A young monkey, seeing a dirty stream, started cleaning it all by herself. A family of deer began replanting saplings where the ground had cracked. The old elephant, seeing two rhinos about to fight, calmly stepped between them and reminded them of their shared home. One by one, animal by animal, they started to remember. Not Milo's bravery, but their own responsibility. A tiny flicker of light returned to the heart tree. Milo felt a faint warmth return to his chest. The echo of forgetting watched silently as the jungle slowly, painstakingly, regained its color. Piece by piece, action by action. This is how true balance is restored, the echo said softly, its voice fading like a distant memory, not by heroes but by communities. As the echo disappeared, Milo stood beneath the slowly reviving heart tree, a tired but genuine smile on his face. The jungle had finally learned its hardest, most important lesson, and on that day, Milo stopped being a savior. He became something far more powerful. He became a teacher. Seasons passed, and the golden jungle flourished like never before. The rivers flowed crystal clear. The trees stood tall and strong, and the heart tree glowed steadily, no longer flickering, no longer weak. The animals had finally learned how to protect their home together. And at the center of it all was Milo, their hero, but Milo was changing. His steps were slower now. His once bright fur was touched with gray. He still climbed the trees, just not as high as he used to. The other animals noticed, though Milo always smiled and said, "Every tree has its season." One peaceful evening, as the sun dipped below the canopy, Milo called all the young animals to gather beneath the heart tree. Little monkeys, fawns, colorful birds, and even tiny cubs sat in a quiet circle, their eyes shining with curiosity. There was a time, Milo began softly, his voice warm and gentle. When our jungle almost disappeared, the young ones leaned in closer, listening intently. "I wasn't brave because I was strong," Milo continued, looking at each of them. "I was brave because I cared, and now it's your turn." That night, as if in response, the heart tree glowed brighter than ever before. A deep, warm, and ancient voice echoed from its roots, seeming to hum through the very ground. "The Guardian's time is ending." The earth trembled, slightly, not with fear, but with a deep, rumbling respect. Grandfather Koro, now older and wiser than ever, stepped forward from the crowd. His voice was solemn. "The jungle speaks," he said, his gaze fixed on Milo. "Milo, you were chosen once. Now, the jungle asks something new of you." Milo closed his eyes, a peaceful acceptance washing over him. He had always known this moment would come. "What does it ask?" he whispered. "Not for sacrifice," Koro answered gently, "for trust." As the first light of dawn broke through the leaves, a strange, beautiful mist began to spread across the jungle from every corner. Young animals felt an irresistible pull, drawing them toward the heart tree. The tree's brilliant glow then split into hundreds of small, floating lights that danced in the misty air. One by one, the lights drifted down and touched the young animals. A young monkey felt a surge of courage fill his chest. A small, timid deer felt a newfound confidence replace her fear. A little bird felt a sense of responsibility awaken in its tiny wings. Each one received a spark of the tree's magic. Milo watched, his eyes filled with happy tears. He understood now. The jungle wasn't choosing just one guardian, it was choosing many. The heart tree's voice spoke once more, echoing in everyone's mind. A jungle protected by one heart can fall. A jungle protected by many hearts will never fade. Milo felt the special glow inside him, the one that had made him the guardian, slowly lifting, not disappearing, but spreading out, sharing itself with everyone. His body grew lighter, almost transparent. "Milo," the animals cried out, their voices a mix of joy and concern. He smiled at them, his form shimmering in the morning light. "I'm not leaving," he said, his voice as soft as a breeze. "I'm becoming part of everything." As the first full ray of sunlight touched the heart tree, Milo transformed. He didn't turn into shadow or light, but into a gentle spirit woven into the very fabric of the jungle itself. The leaves rustled with the sound of his laughter. The rivers flowed with his kindness. The wind carried his unwavering courage to every corner of their home. From that day forward, the golden jungle had no single hero, it had many. Years later, a young monkey stood on the very same branch where Milo once sat. Watching over the lush, thriving jungle, his expression proud and calm. A smaller monkey climbed up beside him. "When did you become so brave?" she asked. He smiled, looking out at the endless green. "The day I learned to care." High above them, the heart tree glowed softly, its light a symbol of their shared strength. And somewhere in the wind, a familiar, loving voice whispered, "The jungle is safe. True heroes don't seek glory for themselves.